hope he can hear me. Nice way. I guess I can just pay attention.
Yeah, we'll just see that. 5-second rule.
Welcome back to Waldo S. Tippin Gymnasium for the second half between the Golden Eagles and the Houghton Highlanders. The Golden Eagles lead the Division III foe 30-29. The Golden Eagles trying to find their first win of the season, as are the Highlanders. But not a particularly good start for the Golden Eagles, Matt. If we look at their shooting percentage in the first half, it was at 38%. They took 14 shots, took 36 shots, only made 14 of them. Not too good to start out this game.
No, it was a very slow first half, not only for Clarion, but Houghton as well. Again, you talk about a 30-29 Golden Eagles lead at the half, and we talked about how slow the first half was. Again, a lot of these teams, or a lot of these players really working the shot clock to their advantage. It took them down. They took the clock down in the last few seconds on a lot of the plays, and really, when you do that and you don't make the shots, but as was the case for both of these teams, you just don't tend to have a high-scoring game. And Clarion, again, 38.9% from the field, compared to 48 for Houghton.
Mark O'Brien inbounds to Andrew McCory. Start out this second half. McCory working against Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones hit 2 shots in that first half, which is more than he had against LaRoche, but he needs to step his game up for the Golden Eagles. Ball's back to McCory. That 3 ball is up. It is no good. Air ball. Rebound picked up by Calvin Edwards. Edwards gives the ball to Lenny Patterson. Lenny drives to the hoop. Gets it to go. And Lenny Patterson, Golden Eagles are going to need him to find that scoring touch to help give them a win tonight.
Patterson came down early in the first half. He landed on his wrist. Doesn't look like that wrist is a problem anymore, and that's good news for the Golden Eagles.
Golden Eagles have now switched to a zone defense. They were running primarily man-to-man in the first half. And it doesn't matter. Bucket is scored by number 44, Matt Ball. And Lenny Patterson again goes to the corner and gets it again, working against Andrew McCory. Lenny Patterson obviously has an edge on McCory, driving to his right. 34-31.
We talked about in the first half how Clarion needs someone to step up, be that leader, get those points in the second half, which has been tough for this team. And Lenny Patterson right now getting the Golden Eagles off to a good start.
McCory gives it to Confer. Confer kicks it out. That's a 3 ball. It's no good. Rebound goes off the foot of Calvin Edwards. So that ball will stay with the Highlanders. 3-point was attempted by Seth Shea. Now Shea gets the ball again. It's a 3-ball attempt. No good. Rebound picked up by Confer. Confer turns around, puts the shot up, and it's good. Chris Confer playing very well for the Highlanders right now. He is their leading scorer. 34-33.
We've seen a lot of these teams in the first half both these teams go for a lot of 3-point shots. Only 1 shot was made by either team, and that was for Houghton. Neither team seemed to get the hang of things right now.
Evan Battle works up towards the bucket, no good. Lenny Patterson picked up the rebound and put it back up. 6 straight points for Lenny Patterson.
He is dominating so far for the Golden Eagles.
The Golden Eagles lost track of their man, number 30, Seth Shea. And the Golden Eagles can't pick up the ball. It's off Lenny Patterson.
2 turnovers here in the last minute by Clarion off of simple things, Ian, and that's going to be a problem if they cannot get that under control here tonight. Trying to scrap for that ball, pick it up, and it rolls out of bounds.
Houghton inbounding. It's off the foot of Calvin Edwards, so Houghton again inbounding. They get it to Mark O'Brien, who gets it back to Shea. Confer tried to get it down low. And it's going to be awarded to the Golden Eagles. It went off on Matt Ball. So the Golden Eagles get possession. Calvin Edwards will inbound to Marcus Jones in a moment. 17:05 remaining in this game. Lenny Patterson has the ball. Gives it to Calvin Edwards. Calvin makes his man miss to Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones for three, no good. Rebound picked up by Evan Battle, who draws the foul. He'll go to the line for two.
We talked about the height advantage that Houghton tends to have here tonight. A lot of big men on their roster. 5 players stand 6'6" or taller. We've only seen a couple of them on the floor tonight, but Evan Battle is Clarion's big man.
They need him to play.
Yeah, and the size advantage we've seen inside for him and Mike Kromka tonight have been huge.
Battle, a good free throw shooter, hits the shot. Puts the Golden Eagles up by 4. Subbing in for the Highlanders, number 21, Tyler McWade. Tyler McWade, the freshman, played pretty well in the first half. Evan Battle again at the line. And that's no good. Rebound picked up by number 22, Chris Confer. Seth Shea had the ball, nearly had it picked off by Lenny Patterson. Good defense there by Dave Colbert.
We saw a couple times in that first half, Ian, where Houghton tried to go backdoor on the baseline pass. Clarion defense sniffs that one out.
The foul is called on the Highlanders. On number 30, Seth Shea. It happened before the shot occurred, so Clarion will inbound. That's the first foul on Shea. Lenny Patterson gets the ball, puts it up, no good. Rebound picked up by Shea. Shea gonna move up the floor for the Highlanders. And the Golden Eagles moving up the floor. Lenny Patterson gives it to Calvin Edwards. Calvin pretty loose with the ball there, nearly threw that ball away. Lenny Patterson able to pick it up.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles have to slow it down a little bit, kind of get things back under control, make a smart play here.
Marcus Jones back to Lenny Patterson. Lenny for three, gets good. Lenny Patterson puts the Golden Eagles up by 7.
And that's the momentum shift I think you'll see right now. The Golden Eagles needed something like that. Get something, big pointers from downtown. A 7-point Clarion lead.
Shea gives that ball to Confer. Confer working against Calvin Edwards. Gets the ball back to Shea. Shea tried to draw the foul, and he does. Foul will be called on Evan Battle, and Shea will go to the line for 2. Shea, the senior from Andover, New York. Andover Central High School. He'll go to the line. We're having a media timeout, and Evan Battle's talking to the official, stating his case. I don't think he's going to win.
Unfortunately,
that's his 3rd foul.
Yeah, so he's getting in a bit of foul trouble, but unfortunately for him, it's tough. You go to try to defend those shots. It doesn't work.
Coming up after this, you see right here the women's basketball team warming up. Women's basketball team 2-1. They're fresh off their last win against Notre Dame College. They were down by 14 against Notre Dame College and came back to win that game. Very exciting team the Clarion women's basketball team employs right now. Coach Ron Ryder focusing back on the men. Has to like what he's seeing here early from Lenny Patterson.
No, he does. And we talked about Patterson in the first half. He was leading this team in more ways than just the usual scoring that he tends to provide. He was getting some steals, blocking shots, great passing ability, and that's the senior leadership that this team is looking for. And that big three right there, Ian, that's going to help not only get this team a few more points, create that lead, but ultimately a momentum shift, and that's definitely what the Golden Eagles are looking for.
Lenny Patterson had 4 points at the end of the first half. Already has 9 points here in the second half. So Sachet is at the line for 2. And that first free throw is good. Makes that lead 40-34 for the Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles need some help from that man there too, Calvin Edwards. Has had some issues shooting the ball today. Golden Eagles lead by 5. 15-10 remaining in this one. Marcus Jones gives that ball back to Calvin Edwards. Back to Jones. The Golden Eagles just passing the ball around the perimeter. Calvin Edwards for 3, no good. Rebound picked up by Mike Kromka. Kromka goes to the hoop, draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Good job by the Golden Eagles. If you're not getting it outside like we've talked about tonight, this team has had such trouble shooting from behind the arc. Work it back inside. We've seen Evan Battle, Mike Kromka, and even Lenny Patterson when he drives the lane, getting in the paint. That's been the key for the Golden Eagles tonight. And if you don't get those points inside, obviously, like you say, draw the foul here for Kromka or whoever, of course, with the ball, and get those freebies.
And that first freebie is hit by Kromka. 41-35. The foul was on Tyler McQuaid. Kromka's second shot is no good. Rebound picked up by Camacho. Confer with the ball in his hands. Gets that ball up. It's no good, but a foul is called on Calvin Edwards. Chris Confer tried to put that ball up in the air for number 31, Mark O'Brien. Looked like they had something there. Mark O'Brien missed the shot. Calvin Edwards gets called for his second foul of the evening.
If you're Houghton right now, one of the things you need to do is make these shots. Clarion getting a little happy with the fouls here in the first half. And so far, not too bad in the second, but if you're Houghton right now, you need to take advantage of these free throws.
O'Brien hit the first and hits his second. Makes that lead 41-37. Marcus Jones back to Lenny Patterson. Lenny gives that ball to Battle. Battle near the baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound picked up by Kromka. Kromka gets it to go in. 43-37.
Once again, like we talked about, working inside, getting those points in the paint, get them to your big man.
Confer finds his man at the corner. He drives, no good. This is O'Brien, and O'Brien will draw the foul. That'll be Dave Colbert, going to be the guilty party.
Sort of a carbon copy of what we've been seeing the last couple of plays. Ian, we talked about Clarion getting inside, hitting those points. And now we'll see Houghton head to the line for a couple of free throws.
So Houghton's going to send in a couple substitutions immediately after this free throw. That free throw's no good. So 43-37, the Golden Eagles trying to hold on to get their first win. And O'Brien will hit that shot. Makes it a 7-point game. Excuse me, a 5-point game. Marcus Jones, he's gonna shoot a 3, no good again. Marcus Jones struggling to find that shooting touch.
Yeah, Marcus Jones, he had the first bucket of the ball game for the Golden Eagles, got them off to a good start. But since then, he's been pretty slow, hasn't had a lot of good points.
Rebounds picked up by Houghton, and here they go. There's no one there, and a bad pass by Houghton, and Clarion's on the rebound. Here they go. Lenny Patterson to the hoop, and it's good. Lenny Patterson taking over this game, the senior point guard.
Marcus Jones, how about that?
I didn't even see it. I didn't get my head turned around fast enough, and we scored.
No, yeah, forced a turnover, getting the shot right off the glass.
So 47-38, a quick turnaround here. And the Golden Eagles have a lead. Now we saw that against Teal. We saw that against LaRoche. This doesn't mean a whole lot of anything.
No, until that clock is at 0 at the end of the second half, it doesn't matter what the score is, because Clarion, as we've talked about, in the first half and in the pregame, this is a team that at one point in the LaRoche game, Ian, they led by as many as 14 points and gave it all up until the very, very last shot when LaRoche hit a buzzer beater. If you're the Golden Eagles tonight, I think one thing you need to do is keep finding the guys who are scoring. It's not so much focus, on one player. There's a couple, Patterson, Kromka, battle on the inside, those two, the big guys. There's a couple of players that are pretty hot right now, getting a lot of points, scoring on the inside. Again, we've seen Patterson drive the lane. So if you're Clarion, you got to make sure this 9-point lead either stays as it is or grows. You can't let anything get away from you tonight.
I think the Golden Eagles really have to watch for Chris Confer. Chris Confer hasn't missed a whole lot tonight. He's getting his playmaking ability going. And that ball's in the hands of Confer now. Houghton working past the press. O'Brien gets that ball down low and it's picked off by Calvin Edwards. Calvin moving down the floor. Kicks the ball to Marcus Jones. Marcus gives the ball to to Kromka, who is denied. That was blocked by Confer. And Kromka gets another rebound and is fouled. Another streaky shooting performance by Calvin Edwards tonight, who's really struggling to find his shot. That was an open three-point attempt that he missed.
It's interesting the chain reaction that happens with these shots, though, and we've seen Edwards. He'll take the shot from beyond the arc. What we've seen is a miss, but then it's rebounded by someone inside, typically Kromka, and he puts it back in, or in this case, heads to the line.
Draws to the foul. Kromka hits that free throw and gives the Golden Eagles their biggest lead of the day at 10. Kromka's second shot is good. Kromka get a seat on the bench for a quick breather. Evan Battle checks in for him. On the floor for the Golden Eagles is Battle, number 31, Drew Vandermeer, Jeremy Schmader, Lenny Patterson, and Marcus Jones. Confer working against Vandermeer, and he misses the shot. Lenny Patterson gets the rebound. And a foul is going to be called on number 15, Luke Kamichadorian. That's his second foul already. Just came off the bench in the second half, and Kamichadorian is going to sit back down on the bench.
Foul trouble plaguing the Highlanders right now. 5 team fouls compared to Clarion's 3.
12 and a half minutes remaining in this second half. Lenny Patterson goes to the hoop, gets it underneath. Vandermeer's there, kicks it out to Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones steps up and gets the shot. 2 points for Marcus Jones. That gives him 6 this evening.
He's picking up here a little bit in the second half, and it's nice to see that not only are we seeing the usual, again, Patterson and McFadden here with a couple points here tonight. Everybody getting a couple touches.
O'Brien finds ball. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien working against Lenny Patterson. And a 3 attempt is good. Number 24, Brennan Campbell, the sophomore guard from Perry, New York, hits that shot and cuts that lead down to 10. And Lenny Patterson gets called for the offensive foul. The feet of Chris Confer were set. That's a 3rd foul on Lenny Patterson, who better be careful. So 11:41 remaining. Again, the 3rd foul on Lenny Patterson. If he gets into any more foul problems, the Golden Eagles are going to be in a world of hurt.
Well, that's exactly what's going to come down to, I think, tonight, Ian, here in the second half. Both teams playing pretty aggressive. It's going to become a matter of foul issues. And we talk about, 11:41 here on the clock. Houghton with 5 team fouls. The Golden Eagles with 4. And like we talked about Lenny Patterson, his 3rd personal foul. you never want to see that happen with you don't want your starters to be in that kind of foul trouble. So, at this point in the second half, not with more than 10 minutes to go, or 11 minutes actually right now.
So 11:41 remaining in this second half. The Golden Eagles have found at least a little bit of a scoring touch in the first half. 30 points for the Golden Eagles in the first half alone. In this half, they have 21.
Yeah, both teams kind of picking up the pace, more so Clarion. We talked about, again, at the half, it was 30-29. The Golden Eagles with the lead. So 21 here for Clarion right now. It's not bad. Things are picking up, and I don't know what Coach Ryder told his team at the half. I don't know what kind of plays he's drawn up, but the defense has paid a bit more of attention to the plays that Houghton has been running. We've seen Houghton try to go underneath the bounce pass, trying to go baseline, reverse, or some sort of layup. Those passes have been shut down pretty much tonight. Clarion forcing turnovers on those plays, and that's been huge.
Chris Confer working the floor for the Highlanders, and that ball's nearly taken over. And both teams diving on the floor. And Evan Battle gets picked up off the floor. He is called for the foul. Checking in for the Highlanders is starting point guard Andrew McCory. Calvin Edwards back in for the Golden Eagles. McCory gets it to Confer. Confer gets it to go. Cuts that lead to 8. Marcus Jones runs up the floor immediately, gives that ball to Calvin Edwards before slowing it down. And McCory gets that ball away from Marcus Jones. McCory's gonna have to slow it down.
We've seen Houghton tonight.
There's a three attempt by Colin Overholt. That's good. What were you saying there, Matt?
That actually helps to prove my point. We've seen Houghton come out of these timeouts, come out of breaks, Ian, and they've put up points on the board. They seem to play faster after these timeouts, so it's not so much necessarily they're getting a bit of a breather, it's just they learn to play more as a unit, as a team again. Everybody finding each other. These fast break points have been huge tonight for Houghton underneath.
10:57, and all of a sudden, Houghton only down by 5. A lot of time remaining in this one. Clarion got their lead. They were up by 10, and they left the door open a little bit, and Houghton seems to be coming through. As you said earlier, eerily similar to La Roche.
It really is. I didn't want to say it again, but yeah, it really is. We talked about both the games Clarion has played before this season, both here at home against Division III teams. Everything seems to be lining up again. Hopefully, though, the Golden Eagles can keep it in the win column tonight.
Lenny Patterson gets it low to Kromka. Kromka kicks it out to Calvin Edwards. Calvin for 3, again, no good. Rebound picked up by Kromka, gets the second chance bucket. What will the Golden Eagles be doing without Mike Kromka right now?
Not the first time that's happened. The miss by Edwards, the putback by Kromka.
Foul on Drew Vandermeer. Number 31, Mark O'Brien, a little slow to get up. That's the third foul on Kromka. We're getting to that point of the game where Lenny Patterson has 3 fouls, Evan Battle has 3 fouls, and Kromka has 3 fouls. Clarion can't afford to lose those 3 players.
No, and you can see, they got some of their, got a few replacements in here with Vandermeer. We've seen, of course, Tyrone McFadden come off the bench tonight. Colbert, who was a starter, but he hasn't seen as much time here in the second half.
That first shot by O'Brien is no good. Belovich and Dave Colbert check in for Vandermeer and number 3, Calvin Edwards. Calvin Edwards really struggling to find that shot tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be important for him to turn things around here down the stretch. Imagine if these threes would have sank in, we'd be talking probably like 15-point lead or something for Clarion.
Kromka has the ball. working against ball, and he gets it to go. Kromka having a good night. Has been the leading rebounder, and he's been the offensive answer late in this second half. And a wild shot goes in by Andrew McCory. Just threw it up. That cuts that lead down again, 55 to 49. 6-point advantage for the Golden Eagles. Lenny Patterson running that point. We're under 10 minutes to go. Belovich trying to find some space. Gives it back to Lenny Patterson. Patterson gives it to Dave Colbert. Dave Colbert finds some room off the spin.
Good play inside. The big man putting in 2 points on a bit of an awkward shot, but a nice roll.
Golden Eagles up by 8. Nearly taken away by Colbert. Corey's got to be careful doing that. Confer now has the ball. And the foul on Dave Colbert, another late foul. The officials seem to be, you see the foul, and they seem to be about 3 seconds behind the slap of the wrist.
A little bit, and you know, we talked about earlier, we saw Evan Battle question his foul call. I would question this one a little bit more. It didn't seem as bad. The contact wasn't as hard as Battle's here, but Colbert again getting slapped with the foul, and that's his second.
First shot from Confer is good. Makes it a 7-point advantage for the Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles trying to turn the page on their season after losing 2 straight to Division III opponents. Trying not to have the same song third verse tonight. Picked off by Confer and nearly dove into the cheerleaders. Ball goes back to the Golden Eagles. 29 seconds on the shot clock, 9:02 remaining. Belovich will inbound.
It's important for Clarion to kind of maintain a fair balance of, you know, fast-paced offense, but at the same time right now, kind of keep it slow. You don't want to rush anything. Worry about those fast break points when you can get them. Don't try and force anything.
Lenny Patterson gets that ball to Kromka. Kromka to Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones trying to find some space. Gives it to Dave Colbert. Dave Colbert, no good. Rebound picked up by Chris Confer for the Highlanders. And 8.5 minutes remaining. Confer has the ball in his hands. It's up against Dave Colbert. And a travel is going to be called on Matt Ball. Matt Ball working against Mike Kromka. Kromka having a very good night tonight.
He was the leading scorer in the first half and still is at this point.
Kromka with the ball in his hands. He loses the ball. Picked up by McCory. And the foul is called on Lenny Patterson. We'll see what they call. Yep, it is on Lenny Patterson. That is Lenny Patterson's 4th foul.
Houghton seems to be drawing up some of these plays, directing it toward their point guard.
Andrew McCory, while he really hasn't done a whole lot on the stat sheet, has done a very good job of leading traffic, or excuse me, directing traffic and really setting up this Houghton offense.
And that ultimately, in turn, starts to hurt Lenny Patterson a little bit, gets him into foul trouble.
Lenny Patterson has to take a seat on the bench. Jeremy Schmader takes over for him. 8 minutes remaining. The Golden Eagles lead only by 5. Schmader gets that ball to Marcus Jones, and Marcus Jones loses the ball. Possession stays with the Golden Eagles. Andrew McCory poked that ball out, and timeout. Golden Eagles with 7:51 remaining and only a 5-point lead. Coach Ron Ryder, we talked earlier about how his hair was receding faster and faster and his top half of his head was growing grayer. It's not getting any better.
No, and he's seen a better performance here on offense. from his team, but this defense not much better. Again, it's still a 5-point lead for the Golden Eagles at this point. And again, what we talked about, the defense, it seems to depend on the play, really, Ian. It depends. They've kind of sniffed out some of the usual calls here from Houghton, but those fast break points coming pretty well here for the Highlanders tonight. Clarion just cannot seem to slow them down.
Very emotional Ron Ryder trying to get his team going. Lenny Patterson sitting on the bench right now with 4 fouls. It's still nearly 8 minutes to go. That's going to be tough for that'll be tough for the Golden Eagles to see what they can do with only 7:51 remaining. Lenny Patterson on the bench right now, sitting in some foul trouble. Marcus Jones will inbound. Calvin Edwards gets the ball off the inbound. He'll set up the offense. He's up against Chris Confer. Chris Confer all over him. He'll give the ball off to Marcus Jones. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Calvin Edwards against Confer. Calvin for 3. It's no good again. Ball picks up the rebound. Calvin Edwards, I'm not sure if he's hit a shot this whole second half.
He's 0 for 7 from downtown tonight.
Overholt has the ball working against Edwards. McCory in the corner for the Highlanders, trying to find some room. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McCory, deep 3, it's good! 2-point advantage for the Golden Eagles, 7 minutes to go. This game just got a whole lot more interesting.
That's McCory's second of the night, and we talked about he's not always the biggest offensive threat, but he can hit those threes from downtown. And that helps the Highlanders cut that Clarion lead to 2.
And he had Mike Kromka in his face. That is a great shot by McCory. Calvin Edwards trying to find some room. 10 seconds, now 9 on the shot clock, and foul on McCory. 16th foul on the Highlanders, second for McCory. And now Evan Battle is going to check in for Dave Colbert.
Mike Kromka just needs 2 more rebounds for a career high. Lenny Patterson, if he comes back in, he needs just 2 more points for a career high. So some possible records to be broken tonight.
Calvin Edwards drives, and he cannot find any gravity tonight. 6:24. The Highlanders trail only by 2. Chris Confer finds some space, puts the shot up, it's good. Chris Confer with a sweet stroke ties it up at 57.
He has been huge tonight. Confer has for Houghton. We talk about him being all over the place. That's 13 points for him tonight.
Kromka has the ball at the point. 6 minutes to go in this one. Now Evan Battle gets it low. Calvin Edwards will find gravity there and gives the Golden Eagles back the lead, 59-57.
For the Clarion defense right now, what we have to do is kind of key in on
Chris Confer.
I would say the recent scores, Confer and McCory.
And what a shot by O'Brien.
He appears to be shaken up on the play.
Might have been a Charlie horse. He seems to be trying to walk it off. That's the first foul on Marcus Jones, and the game is tied. Houghton can take the lead with this free throw from Mark O'Brien. Lenny Patterson with 4 fouls checks back into the game. In 5.5 minutes. If Clarion, man, just imagine if they go into PSAC play 0-3 to Division III opponents, Matt.
Well, you have Shippensburg on Saturday and Millersville on Sunday, and those aren't easy games here for the Golden Eagles. And it's going to be tough if you go in playing again these PSAC teams bigger. They're much bigger than Clarion, so it's going to be a tough battle.
Kromka gets the bucket and will go to the line. Kromka makes it a 61-60 game. He has a chance to make it 62-60. That foul is called on Seth Shea. That's his second, team 7. So 9 fouls on the Golden Eagles, 7 on the Highlanders, and that'll be an interesting development as we move forward. Kromka misses the shot. Clarion only leads by 1. McCory going to set up with 5 minutes remaining in this game.
We talked about Clarion needing to slow things down a little bit earlier. Houghton needs to do the same thing right now. You don't want to force anything. What you need to do is just get the lead.
Ball is out of bounds. It's off of Tyrone McFadden. So with 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock, Houghton's going to inbound. McCory has the ball with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Confer has the ball. He puts up the 3. No good. Rebound picked up by Battle. It's up to Marcus Jones. Tyrone McFadden's running down the side, as is Mike Kromka. Nearly has the ball taken away from him. Lenny Patterson has an open look. It's no good. And a foul will be called. It's going to be on the Highlanders. It's on Seth Shea, and that's his third. Not a smart foul from the senior. Being aggressive, going for the rebound. But in a tight game like this, you can't do that.
No, both these teams getting into some foul trouble here in the second half. And of course, a lot of these starters here feeling the pinch with 4 minutes to go.
Rebound picked up by the Golden Eagles after the miss. And now Marcus Jones setting up for the Golden Eagles. 4:20 remaining. Golden Eagles leading only by 1. Evan Battle has the ball. And what are they going to call? And it's going to be on number 2, Tyrone McFadden. That's going to lose possession for the Golden Eagles, and now Calvin Edwards will check back in for McFadden. McFadden can probably expect to get an earful from Coach Ron Ryder. That's the second foul on, or excuse me, the first foul on McFadden.
Yep.
Nearing the 4-minute mark, McCory setting up the Highlander offense. Only down by 1. Confer trying to find some space. Oh no, there's Confer right there. It's no good. Rebound is picked up by Mike Kromka, and he's fouled, so he's going to go to the line. The foul's called on Confer. Actually, they're going to call that foul on number 44, Matt Ball. That's his 4th foul, the 10th foul on Houghton. So 3:51 remaining. 61-60. Matt, it's here we go again.
Yeah, like I said, the first half, we've talked about it in this half, Ian. It's such a mirror image of the LaRoche game. And again, a little bit higher scoring right now. That game, 57-55 LaRoche win. But we're talking about it's probably going to come down to the final seconds, as it has in both the Teal and LaRoche games so far this season for the Golden Eagles. Both teams looking for their first win. And so I would expect to see both teams really trying to draw up something right now to get their leading scorers the ball just a little bit more often coming down the stretch.
So you have the stat sheet right in front of you, Matt. Let's go through some of these stats.
We talked about Lenny Patterson. He's leading the way here tonight. He and Mike Kromka with at one point here, just a couple of minutes ago, we get the current stats here in just a moment, but 15 points for Patterson, Kromka with 14. And we talked about the leading scorers here for Houghton tonight. Chris Confer with 11 at one point a couple minutes ago. And again, the other leading scorer, Mark O'Brien, for the Highlanders tonight. But those are the big names right now. Again, we've been calling them all night. I think one of the key storylines here tonight, we talked about Calvin Edwards has just not been able to hit anything from downtown. If he would have hit half of the shots, we'd be talking about a 10-point Clarion lead.
Mike Kromka hits that first free throw. He'll get an opportunity for another. 62-60, the Clarion Golden Eagles lead. Kromka's second shot, this is no good. Confer had that rebound, gives it to McCory. Golden Eagles trying to hold on. Confer has the ball, kicks it out. And it's picked off by Lenny Patterson. Lenny Patterson got it from McCory. Lenny is fouled, gets the bucket. And what a huge play by Lenny Patterson, who now has a career high in points. That makes it 64-60. Lenny Patterson is going to go to the line. What a play by Lenny Patterson.
And what a huge play, really, to help this Golden Eagles team. We talk about now it's a two-possession game heading down the stretch here. Possibly, we talk about Patterson being that leader here tonight for this team. Again, that senior leadership, he's showing it right here. Forcing the turnover, translating that into points.
And Lenny Patterson expelling an old demon, hitting a free throw, making it a 5-point game. 65-60 with 3.5 remaining in this one. Houghton gives that ball off to McCory. McCory has number 0, Marcus Jones, all over him. Underneath it goes, and it's good. Number 3, Brandon Camacho scores the bucket, and I'm not sure if Calvin Edwards lost him or if he just snuck in behind the zone. 3-point advantage only now for the Golden Eagles.
It's important for Clarion to find their big scores tonight. I would say keep the ball out of the hands of Calvin Edwards unless he's driving inside, because it just hasn't happened from downtown.
Well, they can put the ball in the hands of Lenny Patterson.
He has been through so much tonight. We saw that wrist injury. That's not stopping him. We've seen him hit the floor a couple times. That's not stopping him. He is putting the points in the bucket tonight.
And they were going to call that foul on Lenny Patterson. Now they call it a blocking foul, which I think makes the most sense. Lenny Patterson has put this team on his back. The foul will be called on Chris Confer. So Lenny Patterson has an opportunity to make it a 6-point game for the Golden Eagles with 2:39 remaining. Lenny Patterson is showing this team, telling the world that, hey, if you need a guy late in the game, I can be your man.
He tried against LaRoche. Really no Clarion player able to do much against LaRoche down the stretch. We've seen Patterson time and time again step it up tonight, pull through, and again, he now has a career high in points, setting a personal record for himself, but Patterson's not that kind of guy, and we've seen that during his entire career here at Clarion. He is focused on the team, and we've seen that tonight.
Patterson misses, but it's picked up by McFadden. McFadden, what a rebound. Now the Golden Eagles can take more time off that clock and try to extend this lead and get a win.
That's exactly what they need to do. Milk the play clock down. Again, 20 seconds on the play clock now. But you have to make it count. You got to put points on the board.
McFadden gets it to Kromka. The Golden Eagles just going to take their good old time. Not going to force up any shots. Marcus Jones pulls up. No good. Rebound picked up by Houghton. O'Brien has the ball, gives the ball off to Confer, who misses the 3 ball, and it's picked up by Evan Battle, who's fouled. So Evan Battle's going to go to the line. Golden Eagles lead by 5. We're now under 2 minutes. 1:58 remaining. That's going to be the first foul on Mark O'Brien tonight. And Houghton seeing this opportunity go away. They were in it for a while, and then Lenny Patterson took over.
Lenny Patterson took over, and then clock management. We're finally seeing smart basketball from the Golden Eagles here down the stretch. Right now they have that lead. using the clock to their advantage, taking time off the clock, and just good ball control down the stretch.
Battle hits the first of his 2 free throws, 68-62.
We talked about how key of a player Evan Battle is for this team, Ian, and like I say, down the stretch, he's hitting these free throws, and that's helping the Golden Eagles.
There's another one, 7-point advantage for the Golden Eagles with under 2 minutes to go. Houghton's gonna need, they're not quite at miracle yet, but they need some big plays now if they want to get back in contention with this. For the Golden Eagles, on the other hand, what a job that Lenny Patterson has been doing. Done such a great job for Lenny Patterson, just working that floor.
That's a career high in rebounds for Crump and career high in points for Patterson.
You have some information for us there, Matt.
Well, Kromka, of course, as we assumed, has a double-double, is 17 points, 15 rebounds, and the 15 rebounds is a career high for Mike Kromka. Lenny Patterson, 20 points, leading all Clarion scores on the night, and that is also a career high for Patterson. And we talked about really both of these two leading this team tonight. And we talk about the key component that Evan Battle brings into this, that big man underneath to go along with Kromka. Those are 3 special players right now. Marcus Jones, of course. I mean, this is a good, strong team, some talent, but it's going to take a little time, and tonight they're finally coming together.
O'Brien has the ball with 1:44. And Confort goes to the rim, no good, but he draws the foul. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Confort.
And you saw how pumped Evan Battle was. And earlier this game, we saw him get charged with a foul that was somewhat questionable. Another one that he's involved with, but this time it's on his opponent. It's on Houghton.
That's a very questionable call. I can't believe they made that call. That's the 2nd foul on Confort. Now 1:25, the Golden Eagles up by 7 still. Lenny Patterson trying to find some room. 15 on the shot clock, and a foul will be called on O'Brien.
And that's almost what you have to do at this point, Ian. Down to 1:10 on the game clock, up by 7. The Golden Eagles are. That's what you have to do if you're Houghton right now. Foul and make him earn it.
That's the 2nd foul on O'Brien. Coach Ron Ryder trying to keep his team cool, just telling them to relax. Lenny Patterson misses the free throw. Lenny Patterson his strong suit is not free throws. But with 1:10 remaining, this next one could mean the game.
It really could. We talk about it right now. It's a 2-possession game. If you play it right, a 3-pointer and another 3-pointer with a foul. Well, more likely a 3-possession game. But if you hit that second shot, you're looking at a true 3-possession game. Something that I think would be very tough to come back from if you're Houghton right now, again with 1:10. And the way Clarion has controlled the ball tonight here in this second half, it has just been too much for Houghton to control in the last 5 minutes. Clarion's had the answer, particularly Lenny Patterson.
So 1:10 left. Lenny Patterson's at the line. He has one more free throw. On the court for the Golden Eagles is McFadden, Kromka, obviously Patterson, Evan Battle, and Marcus Jones. And Lenny's free throw is good. That makes it an 8-point game with 1:10. So Houghton has to pull something miraculous out of themselves late in this game. O'Brien gets into the corner. It's good. That's how you start. Colin Overholt. He hit the shot, then he fouls Marcus Jones. So 55.3 seconds remaining. That's the first foul on Overholt.
It's important for the Golden Eagles to contain outside. If you're trying to defend that three-pointer right now. We've seen Houghton tonight miss a series of three-pointers in the corners, on the wings, everywhere, from up top of the key. If you're Clarion, you need to be able to contain that.
That first one is good for Marcus Jones. That's a 6-point advantage the Golden Eagles now have over the Houghton Highlanders. And the second shot is good. 7-point advantage for the Golden Eagles.
Back to that 7-point lead, but with 15 seconds, 20 seconds now less than before. Houghton in a deeper hole.
No good. Rebound picked up by Lenny Patterson, who is fouled by Confer. And Overholt, I believe they'll call it on Confer. So Lenny Patterson will go to the line to really put this game absolutely out of reach. That's the third foul on Confer.
One thing to note tonight, Ian, really, even though it has been close and Clarion hasn't played their best, they never let Houghton get the lead. It has been a Golden Eagles lead for the entire
Other than
night.
those first couple minutes. After that, has been the Clarion has not gotten the lead.
In the second half. In the first half, it was a few minutes, but in the second half, really, this has been a dominating second half here for the Golden Eagles.
It's no good. Lenny Patterson missed it, and a foul is going to be called. On who is the question? It will be on the Golden Eagles, so Houghton will get the ball. So 43.4 seconds, 73 to 65 is the lead the Golden Eagles have over the Houghton Highlanders. And Clarion can almost feel their first win of the season. And that shot is good by Mark O'Brien. Marcus Jones has the ball and he's quickly fouled. So 73 to 67 is the score. Houghton trying to do anything they can to try to keep this one close.
The important thing to consider, though, now, again, 31 seconds to go means the shot clock is off. And so if you're Clarion, not much to lose. You just got to hit these free throws.
First one is no good for Marcus Jones. Clarion leads by 6. Marcus Jones for his second free throw. This one is up and this one is good. 7-point lead. Houghton officially needs a miracle, Matt.
Yeah, again, 7 points, under 30 seconds to go, down to 24, and you need to start hitting three-pointers.
And there's the first attempt. That one doesn't even hit the rim. And the foul is going to be called, I believe, on Mike Promka.
We talked about this.
Oh, they're not. They're going to call it actually on Confer. So that's going to be, I believe, his 4th or 5th foul. That 4th.
We talked in the first half about these, early in the second half here, about how these teams weren't necessarily doing anything on defense, but the offense was kind of just bad. The Houghton three-point attempts tonight have just been terrible from downtown. Again, in the first half, they were 1 of 8. That's a 12.5% average. That is just that's terrible for them, and that's going to partly translate into this loss because it's not like they haven't taken the attempts. It's just they haven't gone.
Promka hits both of his free throws. Makes it a 9-point lead for the Golden Eagles. 17.9 seconds. So Coach Ron Ryder and his Golden Eagles can finally breathe that sigh of relief. They will have their first win of the season, and Lenny Patterson gets leg swiped, and he hit the floor hard.
We talked about it earlier. He has just been beat up and just slammed down tonight a couple times. We talked about the wrist injury. We talked about him just taking charges. And now you add that into the equation. He's going to be feeling a little sore tomorrow, but he has done so much for this team tonight. And has really proven himself to be that senior leader.
Checking in, Ralph Nables Jr., the 6'1" freshman from Youngstown, Ohio, checks in as the Golden Eagles are officially going to win this game. As under 10 seconds to go. And a foul is going to be called on number 31, Mark O'Brien. So we will see Naples, the freshman, go to the line. Try and score some points with 5.2 seconds remaining.
That's always got to be exciting for him, of course, getting in a few points, or at least a few attempts anyway at the line.
That first free throw is good. That'll make it a 10-point game for the Golden Eagles. They finally will have their first win of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time as they start PSAC play on Saturday against Shippensburg. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Clarion gets the win. Evan Battle with a big roar and a sigh of relief. 77-67 is the final. And the Golden Eagles finally notch one in the win column. Houghton, on the other hand, drops to 0-4. Those next two PSAC games, Millersville and Shippensburg, are both here at Waldo West Tippin Gymnasium. Matt, it wasn't always pretty, but Clarion, they got the win. That's the only thing that really matters tonight.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how you win as long as you get the win sometimes, Ian, and that's the case tonight. Clarion, again, the score doesn't necessarily reflect how close this game was for the entire contest. Again, a 10-point Golden Eagle victory, 77-67, but a lot of that came down the stretch to get those points from the free throw line. And we talked about one of the storylines, again, throughout the entire broadcast, though, we were there in the entire game, was just how close, the last two games were against these Division III opponents. Clarion, though, finally coming out tonight, beating that Division III opponent in a very close matchup. Got a little, as we mentioned, a little scary at times. Thought it was going to be another LaRoche, another game from the 15th, but they pulled through tonight and get the win.
The most important thing, as Matt just said, is that Clarion gets the win. Player of the game. Well, let's do players of the game, because Lenny Patterson and Mike Kromka were the sole reason the Golden Eagles won tonight. A heroic effort by Lenny Patterson and a dominating line performance by Mike Kromka. What a night by those two, and they really needed those two to step up and play well.
Both getting a couple personal records, Kromka in rebounding and for Patterson in points. So it's going to be an exciting, I would say, couple of games here going into PSAC play, and it's going to be very tough as well. The next three games here at home, but those two this weekend against Shippensburg and Millersville going to be tough.
And the women's basketball team has taken the floor, so we are going to make way for them in the next couple of moments. So stay tuned. Women's basketball is up next here on CUTV. For Matt Kanaler, I'm Ian Hunter. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the women's basketball team take on Pitts Johnstown.